Hey, this is Dr. Dave Fletcher, and today's Fletch Flash is a continuation from what we started last time, which is termed Mythbusters. Last time we talked about breaking the myth down between this idea of whether you needed one or the other. Do I need X-ray or scanning, or can I have both? And so we talked about the importance of, number one, the structure and functional change. Today's myth is really this idea of scanning taking too long. And it's really important that we really break down that myth because, again, the theme from last time was what's great for your patient. You know, we're doing this not simply to run an efficient practice, but what is great for your patient and their families and, the extended, connections they have in the community and otherwise. Here's what matters. It matters that they understand and know what's going on. And so even though we may very much cater to their understanding and we think they get the idea of using x-rays we talked about last time or other types of examinations, the reality is that they need to see the impact and the devastating effect of the subluxation on their human health and potential. And what we know is that when we start to tie that together with the concept of stress, we start to tie that together with things they're familiar with, that we can start to not only talk about it, but show them. And this is why this time spent on doing scanning, which is minimal and fractional these days, is really so important, because for every moment you invest on the early stage of them understanding and learning the big chiropractic story, it means it translates into those long-term benefits as we go down this next path, what we refer to as the lifetime wellness program. And so the reality is that how long does it take? Well, it takes 24 seconds to run a thermal scan from S1 to C1. And that's generally noted on 1 second per segment. The reality is that an EMG study, which gives you infinitely great information about the postural tone and the expenditure of energy and the exhaustion in those postural muscles, takes under 2 minutes. And finally, the jewel that we really put in is an unattended test, non-spinal. You have your staff set it up, they place the patient's hand in the neuropulse, and before you know it, 3 minutes has passed. And typically you shouldn't be in the room, means that you set it up and you walk out. So if you add just a little bit of time for setting up and otherwise, an entire core score type test, which means that you can give a tracking number, if you will, a score, takes under 7 minutes to work. So we have designed a rhythm under which you can build the fastest and best strategies into a very busy practice. My practice was very, very busy, and as a result of that, we had to design these streamlined approaches, not only for collecting the scans, but for reporting the scans. And so CLA has spent a tremendous amount of time, developing the language that's affiliated with scanning and reporting. And most importantly, it's an engagement that allows the staff to take an active role in this same communication and application of the scans. So scanning is a team effort, and when the team gets on board, we've seen thousands of offices around the world embrace this idea of it not taking time at all. In fact, it's a small investment of time at any time to do this great examination, this digital examination that brings you into the 21st century here, that we can sit down and have, the greatest clinical data that you can collect in a chiropractic office, looking at the subluxation, ready for them in moments, and for that they can make lifetime decisions. So what's best for your patient? You decide that because you're the doctor, but we believe that what's best for the patient is a clearly informed and inspired patient ready to make the next level decision and not have to hesitate as to whether it is tied to their health or their symptoms. How about both? So that was my Mythbuster for today. Hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned and we'll keep going with some of these because we hear it all the time and we want you to make informed choices yourself. Have a great one.